Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that subscribe button. Of course, when you do hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell in the corner. Make sure you hit it to all, and then that ensures you don't miss any of our shows, and they are all live. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy the show. So, was delayed yesterday due to circumstances beyond our control, but we have back in the room boxing guru and legend, trainer, Uncle James Ali Bashir. Uncle, how are you?
Um, Slow but sure.
Okay.
Um,
So, obviously, me asking you how are you doing is very much a almost a rhetorical question because obviously I see you more than most, so I get to see how you are maybe not even on a daily basis, but at least once a week I'm seeing how you are. So, um, how are you feeling? Can you hear me?
uh, yes, I can hear you. It's a slow but sure progress.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much damage was done, but because it's a head injury, it's very slow, very slow. I'm seeing countless doctors, trying to get back to normal street.
Okay. Okay. So, what's your day to day life at the moment for you?
Well, it's very difficult because after galloping around the world for the last 50 years. Now I'm at a standstill. I'm not allowed to fly because of the injury, the nature of the injury. I'm not allowed to get on planes to do anything, you know. So quite naturally, it's taken an effect on my life. So uh, it's just difficult. It's difficult to just make a readjustment. I haven't been home this much in over 50 years. So
What
I'm relegated to my house and going to the grocery store and back. I'm just a normal Joe now.
describe that for me? That feeling of being from you know running around the world, working some of the best
Yeah,
fighters in the
it's
world
just
to
like it's like having your hands tied, your feet tied. You know, just having your hands and feet tied, and you can't just can't do nothing. You just can't do nothing, and I have to make the adjustments. I have to make the adjustments. The only real benefit in this that I get to be with my family more. This is the most my family have seen of me in many years, so it's not all bad. I
get it.
guess it's God's way of saying that you need to slow down. You need to take a break. So I'm taking it in stride. That's the only benefit that I can see from this whole thing is that I get to be with my family.
Okay. While you've been out, from a boxing perspective, what have you been thinking?
I've been trying to think positive. As the doctors tell me, it's the only way to heal from my injury. I've got to think positive and not be angry, which I am very angry, you know. But I have bouts, where I get really angry about what this person did, and how he did it. I get really angry about it. But I understand what the doctors are saying is that the only way to get back to neutrality, to being neutral, is to just dislodge that from my mind and just try to be positive. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying my best to do it. It's easier said than done. You know, when you're attacked, the way I was attacked, I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to confront this person. I want to confront this person, and I want to do to him what he did to me. But these are the things that I have to dispel from my mentality and from my heart. But it's like I said, it's easier said than done.
So there obviously there are things that you can talk about and you can't talk about. So in terms of how it all came about and the situation you're in now and moving forward, in that sense, I won't prod for answers. I can only respond or react to what you say to me. So what you tell me is what we can work off and deal with. I'm not going to ask. So if you're willing to tell, then you tell. And from that sense, with this situation, it's a hideous situation, to be honest.
Well, what I'm saying is common knowledge. It has no bearing on the legality surrounding this case.
Okay.
Anything I say is common knowledge. Everybody in the world has seen the videos. Everybody knows.
Well,
The whole,
Uncle, the only video I've seen is I'm seeing you say back up, back. I saw the back up bit. I saw you saying some stuff. I saw the camera go down.
Listen. I said back up because I don't want anybody, male or female, to put their hands up to my face that close that they would put their hands to my face. I don't do that.
So so from your perspective, what happened?
I just went to look at the Claressa weigh in. I just tried to look at the scale, which was in public. It was the legitimate scale, and I just came up to view her weight. I just wanted to see, and when I approached the scale, two females approached me with their hands very, very close to my face, telling me to back up. I said, wait a minute now, you can't put your hands in my face. You can't stop me from looking at the scale. This is how the whole thing started. People only see certain parts of the video. Obviously, the video was made to look like I started it, but I didn't start it. I just came up to look at the weight. And when I came to look at the weight, two females, came very close to me and put their hands directly up to my face, and I stepped back on two occasions to keep from their hands making contact with my face. Because I knew that if they made contact with my face, I don't know how I would have reacted. So I just stepped back. So I wouldn't be accused of being into any kind of altercation with female. I backed up twice.
I know you backed up twice.
Wait a minute. I backed up twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't going to back up the third time. That's when I told him, you had better think twice before you come to me again. Because I wasn't going to back it up the third time. I come off the streets of Harlem and Newark, New Jersey. And where in those places, you don't do that kind of, you don't show a man or woman that kind of disrespect. You don't do that. You don't put your hands up to anybody's face. I had a right to be there. I had a right to look at the scale. The scale was in public. It's not like they took the scale and went into a room and closed the door. That would be different. But this scale was in public, so I had a right to stand there and look. I'm the opposing camp. I want to see what I weighed. I was curious.
Okay. So, the some of the things that have been pointed towards you, or you've been accused of, or a lot of the talk has been, oh well, if you talk that way, you deserve to get smacked, or well, he was going to raise his hand to a woman. Of course, the brother would defend the situation. That's what two of the the things.
The fact of the matter was and doing is two different things. Was and doing is two different things. That's why I stepped back so I wouldn't be involved in any altercation with a woman. But I'll tell you this: no woman or no man has the right to make physical contact with another individual. All they got to expect to get cracked. They got to get respect. They got to expect something to happen. I stepped back away twice so I wouldn't be accused of that. So can't nobody say what I should or shouldn't have done. I mean, I can only take so much. I'm just a human being. You understand? There's certain things there's certain places that a woman should go or a man should go with other individuals. You don't supposed to make contact with anybody. It seems to me that this video, all the videos is arranged so I'll look like the culprit. But I'm here to say that I wasn't the culprit. I never started this. They started this. I stepped away twice.
So why would they?
I went and took a seat. And it was, it was her cowardly brother, that came up behind me and struck me in the crown of my skull from behind. I can't say this enough. If you felt so badly that I offended your sister, if you felt so badly, then why did you not come to my face, man to man, hand to hand, and punch me in my mouth so I could? Oh man. Why didn't you confront me? Just come to me and man to man, hand to hand, and give me an opportunity to fight back. But he struck me in the crown of my skull, you understand, and ran out the door. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. So for those people who say that I deserve this or I deserve that, nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. If you feel that badly about a human being, go up to him and say, "Listen, I don't like you. I don't like what you said. I don't like what you did. Can we step out in an alley, or can we go to a yard, or can we go to a bathroom somewhere and settle this?" But he didn't want to take that opportunity because he didn't know what I had left in the tank. He didn't know what I had in a way of defense. He don't know how I would have responded. That's why he didn't do it. That's why he came from behind, because he didn't want to take the chance of, can I still defend myself? Despite my age, I think that I'm in pretty good shape. I think that I can still defend myself. I think that I can break off in the average man. I think I can break off in the average man. There might be some people who can do some things, but not the average person. The average person can't do these things to me.
So see,
not without receiving some kind of damage in return.
I remember you suggesting that if you and him had got into it and then you sustained injuries from you and him getting into it, you would have accepted that. But the fact,
yeah, but definitely that's the school of thought that I come from. If I got into it with him hand to hand, man to man, and I got my ass whooped, I'm good with that. But this person never gave me an opportunity. If I had gotten into an altercation with him and I had got cracked and injured, I'd say, hey, and the police asked me something, I'd say, hey, man, I ran into a wall or something. That's just the school of thought that I come from. Man to man, hand to hand, I got nothing to say about that. But he didn't do that. Like I said, the average guy, like him, he's an average guy. He didn't want to risk getting injured himself, because he definitely would have got injured. He would have definitely gotten injured if he had confronted me face to face. He definitely would have gotten injured.
So From what I understand, you got cracked to the back of your head and you landed flat on marble floor.
On my face. I was unconscious at the point of impact. He said that it was a punch. I'm not too sure that it was a punch because my face, my cranium still hurts. And it doesn't hurt from the fall to the floor. It hurts from the point of impact. That's where I still feel it in my head. So nobody knows what he had in his hand. They say it was a punch. Oh, okay, it's a punch. Nobody can dispute it. But I'm thinking that no, it was more than a punch. I've been punched before, and no, this is more than a punch. I think it was something in his hand when he hit me. I don't know what it was, but I think it was more than a punch.
So after the incident, you're in the hospital. Um, what are your initial thoughts?
The whole time I was laying on the operating table, the whole time they was trying to remove my teeth from the roof of my mouth. I mean, the whole time I was laying there, the only thing that I was thinking was, I want the person that did this. I want him in front of me, man to man, hand to hand, so I can defend myself. That's all I could think of. Retaliation. Retaliation was all I thought of. Retaliation, retaliation, retaliation. That's what I thought of. I wanted to fight, man. I wanted to fight. That's how I was raised. I wanted to fight.
Subsequently, you would have heard interviews from the opposing camp. What were your thoughts when you were listening to those things from the opposing camp?
I think that when a person is looking for a justification for covering up something that's wrong, if a person is looking for a justification, in most cases they will find a justification. I think that the opposing camp is in denial. I think it's a position of stupidity combined with ignorance. Saying that they had a justification to do that. No, they didn't have a justification for doing that because everything up until that point was just talk. It was just talk. I was just being in defense of myself verbally. I didn't strike nobody. I didn't attempt to strike nobody. I didn't attempt to sneak up or behind somebody. I didn't do any of that.
That's another
When
thing.
when the separation came, I just went and sat down.
But that's another thing people are saying. Oh well, if you're gonna talk that grease, then you need that's what happens when you talk that stuff. You're gonna get it.
Again. Okay, cool. But come to me in front of me. Nobody has the right to be struck from behind. If it's I can talk. I've always been a talker. I've always been a talker. I can talk. But talking is one thing, and exacting physical attributes against somebody is a whole different thing. I can talk as much as I can, but there's no law against talk. There's no law against talk. That's not a law. But there is a law against aggression physically. When you put your hands on somebody, there's a law against that. That's why the individual is in jail. I'm not in jail. He's in jail. So if I did something wrong, I think that I would have got jail. I would have been jailed right from the hospital. So those people that's talking that there, most of the time, people that talk that kind of stuff is most of the time are punks themselves. When you hear people on there talking about, well, if you're gonna talk like that, you should do. Most of those people that be talking like that are completely punks, cowards, and they come from that same aura of thinking. But the average person that I've been in contact with over these 50 years I've been in the sport, the average person 90, 90, 99% of those people will tell you that I'm a gentleman. 99 of those people will say that I'm a gentleman, and I've always been a gentleman. But I don't take no shit from nobody.
I understand that. I don't know who it was that tweeted me on Twitter that sent me the clip. As soon as I saw it, I was horrified. So the first person I called was Vlad Tsarenko. I said, Vlad, because I couldn't get in hold of Ivana. I called Vlad. I said, Vlad, have you heard what's happened? He goes, no. I said, Uncle Bashir's in hospital. He says, what? And then I explained what happened to him, and then he kind of got round and got in touch with Ivana, and we stayed quite in touch with everything. And obviously he was mortified when he heard what happened. Absolutely mortified. Couldn't believe it.
Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko. Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, when they called me on the phone, they were horrified. Vitaly Klitschko was more angry than Vladimir was. They were angry because it's talk. When you talk, I can talk. What am I supposed to do? Stand by and let somebody just maul me with their words? No, I'm going to say something back in defense of myself. I'm going to say something back. So those people saying that, hey, well, if you talk like that, you got to expect that. Yeah, if I expect that, but confront me. Don't sneak up behind me and hit me in my head so that my body can land on a marble floor. Do you understand the damage? Do you understand the damage that I received from falling unconscious on a marble floor? I'm upset about it. Yes, I'm upset about it, you know? I'm upset that this guy wasn't charged with attempted murder. He should have been charged with attempted murder. If I had been a white man or a white woman, he would have been charged with attempted murder. But it's a black on black crime, so it's no big thing. We're just charged with aggravated assault. But he should have been charged with attempted murder.
Are you suggesting if this had happened to Teddy Atlas or I don't know,
Teddy Atlas or any other white man,
or Bob, what Bob, if this happened to Bob Arum?
If that had been Bob Arum, if that had been Lou Duva, if it had been Teddy Atlas, if it had been Kathy Duva, you understand? Jolene Mazzone, who works for Kathy Duva. If it had been any one of those people, that black person would have been charged with attempted murder. But it's okay because it's a black on black crime, so we just slap him on the wrist and just call it an aggravated assault. But we won't call it murder until it's murder. What if I didn't come out of the coma? What if I was put in an induced coma? What if I have swelling on the brain? What if they couldn't stop the brain bleeding? I could have bled out through my nose like I was bleeding when I got to the hospital, bleeding through my nose and mouth. So because I didn't die, okay, we'll call it aggravated assault. We won't call it murder until it's murder. So next time, kill the nigga. You understand? Next time, kill that nigga. And then we can call it murder. I'm just calling a spade a spade. If I had been a white person on that floor, he would have been charged with murder, attempted murder. I'm calling it. And most of the people listening to this most of the people listening to this here will agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
Most people with good sense listening to this interview will know that if that shoe was on the other foot, especially in America, because there's in America, in my opinion, in America, there's a white justice and there's a black justice. There's a white justice and a black justice. If the defendants are black, then it's a different kind of justice than it is if you're white. And it's a big problem that America has, you know. I'm thinking that I'd be there, laying on the floor, virtually dead. You know, it's only by the grace of God that I'm here talking to you now. Because of all that I went through, it was it was just by the grace of God that I'm here talking to you. Because one man came to me and said, man, your head hit that floor so hard, we thought that you were dead. The sound that your skull made hitting that marble floor, we thought at that time that you were dead. And when I came up and saw you conscious, asking what happened, I said, thank God. And the people around looked at the guy and said, well, why is he saying thank God? He said, but they couldn't relate to what I could relate to. He said, thank God that you're here, that you're coherent, that you're saying what happened. That told me that you were about your senses. So yeah, I think it's a different justice. I think that he should have been charged with attempted murder. And for people who said that, yeah, well, you expect that. They're stupid cowards. They're stupid cowards. Like I said, if somebody beat my behind, all right, you beat me up in a confrontation, hey, it comes with the territory. I've been there before. I whooped some asses, and I got my ass whooped a lot growing up into manhood. You understand? I whooped some asses, and I got my ass whooped. But I never complained about it. I never cried about it. I took my beating, and I kept on stepping. But when you come up behind somebody and do, strike you, I don't know what he had in his hand, but I'm thinking that he had something.
What do you think his intention was, Uncle?
I don't know. I think that his intention was to kill me. That's what I'm thinking. He had to. Because what did he think was going to happen when my unconscious body hit that marble floor? So my thinking from where I'm sitting at right now, I'm thinking that this person had the intentions of killing me. And I hit a marble floor face first. All of my teeth are gone. You understand? So what person do you know that knows that if I knock this person out, if I'm going to hit him on the base of the skull, that's where the punch landed, or whatever he said was a punch, or whatever was in his hand, landed on the base of the skull, automatically you know that's going to knock the individual unconscious. Okay, we got a marble floor. So 1 times 1 equals 2. You got the concussion from hitting in the skull, and then the concussion from hitting on the floor. What do you think the person should be done with? Aggravated assault on a marble floor? No. It's murder, attempted murder. That's what he should be charged with.
What have you made the subsequent, the other comments that were made? There was a video that was done on YouTube asking whether you deserved what you got. Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did. Um, some of the individuals answered rationally, and some of them answered irrationally. I think it's irrational to say, yeah, well, if you talk like that, yeah, you got to expect that. No, you don't expect that from talking. That's stupidity. That's stupid answers. Um, Badu Jack. Badu Jack was one of those uh, people who answered, and he said, I don't know what happened, so I won't make any comment on it because I don't know the whole of what happened. So I won't make any comment. But you got some people who have a fantasy for flair, for being, you can go out and you can do so because you got to expect that. That's ignorant. That's blatant ignorance. You have people throughout the years of boxing where I've seen them get into verbal altercations, and nothing like this happened. Nothing like this happened. individual strikes another individual in the back of the head. No.
Should he have been there in the first place? That's a question that's also been asked. And the people that want to stay, should they have been on?
No, because they knew, his family knew, Claressa Shields knew. She knows that her brother is a violent person. He should not have been there. There were other altercations that he has had long before the altercation with me. And she knew that he had a penchant for violence. All right? I don't know the whole of the story about what ignited him to do this. You know? I don't know what the whole of the story is. But I do know that there were people in her family that knew that that person should have been there. All right? They knew that he should have been there. You know? So as far as me saying that, you know, he had this, that, I never said anything to the females. No, I said some things about them, but I never said nothing directly to them. All right. So it doesn't make a difference.
And
I just gotta get over my anger, my emotional state. That's what I gotta get over in order to heal.
the weighing. Talk to me more about the weighing. So, what were you able to see despite them pushing you or getting your hand, putting their hand in your face? What were you able to see?
I really were distracted by them, but I don't believe that she was that weight. Later on, I heard that she was a couple of ounces over, which I don't believe. I don't believe. But she said it was a couple of ounces. So who am I to say it wasn't? But I don't believe she was a couple of ounces. I think she was more than a couple of ounces over. Because my thinking is, if she's at weight, then what's the problem with me looking? This is what started the whole thing. I just wanted to look at the scale when she weighed in. If she was at weight, then why would they try to block me from seeing? And they were aggressively blocking me. Aggressively. To be female, they were pretty aggressive. So if she's at weight, what's the problem? Let me just look at the weight, and everything would have been over. They started this here, not me.
So
all the people, everybody's about, well, you can't be talking. I'm defending myself. I'm doing the same thing that the average person that's talking would have did.
So what was their hope by putting their hand in your face? What did they think you were going to do, and what were they by putting their hand to stop you? Why do you think they were stopping you from looking at the weighing?
Because they didn't want me to see what the actual weight was. They didn't want me to see that. So it's easy for Claressa to come back later on and say, "Yeah, I made the weight. It was only a couple ounces over." All right, all right. But who was there when you weighed in? Who was there when you weighed in? It was your people was there, and everybody is there is agreeing. Yeah, she was only a couple of seconds over. But if you only a couple of ounces over, then why not let the guy from the opposing camp just take a look at the scale?
Why was the weigh-in so early?
It wasn't a weigh-in. Claressa was just getting on the scale. It wasn't the weigh-in. It wasn't the official weigh-in. And they said, well, it wasn't an official weigh-in. I said, yeah, but still, the scale was in public. I had a right to come up and look. There's no mandate that says that I can't come up and look at you getting it on the scale. It happens all the time in the sport of boxing.
So you're telling me that weigh-in wasn't actually a weigh-in?
It was a weigh-in, but this was before everybody was organized for them to step on the scale. Before Claressa and Ivana could step on the scale, Claressa just came up to check her weight. And when she checked her weight, I saw her going to get the check. And I said, let me go take a look at this here. And that's when all hell broke loose. When I stepped up to the scale to see it, they got very close to my face. And when I say very close, they were inches from just away from putting their hands in my face.
Okay.
Inches. And you tell me one human being, especially black people, you don't put your hands to nobody's face like that. Black people don't play that shit. You don't put your hands in nobody's face. Black people and many whites don't play that. You can't put your hands in nobody's face. You know? I restrained myself from acting in a manner. I restrained myself. That's why I stepped back. Because I said, if I react to this here, then I'm going to be the culprit. So that's why I backed up.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. All right. So
I'm not a woman beater. I've never been a woman beater. But there are certain lines that women got to understand. There are certain lines that you don't cross. And one of those lines is that you don't take your hands to put up to nobody's face. And I'm talking about inches away from somebody's face. That's an offense. That's an offense.
okay. So okay. Are there any other comments that you've heard since that have disturbed you or you want to comment on?
Oh man. Yeah. Claressa has made a number of comments, a number of comments that I don't want to even justify about responding, but she's made a number of comments. One of those comments is that Ivana Hobson calls her a thug. Ivana never called her a thug. She never called her a thug. She said that her atmosphere was that of thugs, but she never directly called her a thug. And that Ivana Hobson is a racist.
No chance.
If Ivana Hobson is a racist, then I'm a racist. You understand? I live with Ivana. I live with her family. You understand? And I lived there in Croatia with them for 3 months. Racist? What kind of racist? Racist? No, I didn't never get that from
never.
Ivana.
In all the time I've known Ivana, never. No chance. No way could Ivana be a racist. And be around me? Hell no. No way. She's one of the sweetest people I know. No way is she a racist. Absolutely not.
I got an adopted sister who's a German. She's my sister. She's my little sister. She's been my sister since she was 12, 13. I think she's 28 now. And we still maintain our relationship. So come on, get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense about Ivana Hobson as a racist. Ivana is as close to me as anybody in my family. So no, she's not a racist. Just like I said, a lot of things that this person, Claressa Shields, does is combined with arrogance, combined with ignorance. She's always shooting off at the mouth about who she's gonna beat up and who she's gonna do. She's always trying to pass herself off as a tough person, and who she's gonna get, who she's gonna do this, and who she's gonna do that thing, and she tries to pass herself off as a decent human being. But I think that people in general can see who Claressa Shields is. I think people in general, you can't fool who they are, Boxer, yes, but that's all that she is boxer. Do I like her? No, I don't like her because I know she doesn't like me. And I'm not been back with the nobody's ass. I'm not bending those bastards backwards to be kind to nobody that ain't kind to me. You know? She just is an arrogant person. She's a disrespectful person. And she tries to make a situation out of everything. She tries to reach in the sky and grab things that's non-existent that Ivana Hobson calls her a thug. Ivana never calls her a thug. She said that she comes from a thug-like atmosphere, and that's what she is. That's what she does.
She
She
said
comes
she,
from a
she said
thug-like
she
atmosphere.
said she may as well have called her a nigger. What do you think about that?
Huh?
That's what she said. Claressa said she may as well have called her a nigger if she wants to call her a thug.
Well, like I said, she creates a scenario to justify what she does. Ivana call somebody a nigga? No, it's not even in her character. It's not even in her character. It's not. It don't even exist in her character. I'm born in the 50s. All right. One of the hardest things to do is to fool a person born in the 50s about who's racist and who's not racist. No, Ivana Hobson is not a racist, and she never came close to calling nobody a nigger. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Well, it says she also said it's because these Europeans that come over here to fight in America, they think that they're better than everybody else when they come and fight.
Oh God, this girl is in denial. She has some mental problems. She has some problems with ignorance, diplomacy. She has some problems. And she, like I said, she creates these scenarios like she's the good guy and everybody else is the bad guy. But I think that the people can see. I think the people can see who and what she is. I think the people, the overall audience, boxing audience, I think they can see who and what she is. I don't have to go out and say anything bad about her. Because
So,
I think the people themselves, the people overall can see who and what she is.
all right, this all happened because Ivana Habazan and Claressa Shields were meant to be fighting for the light middleweight title, correct?
Yeah.
How do things differ now than they were then in January the 10th? How do things differ?
I don't think it's going to be much of a difference. They got to get in the ring and they got to fight. They got to get in the ring. They got to fight. I just can't. I cannot. I don't have the ability at this point to work the corner as Claressa as Ivana's trainer. Because it's being held in the state of New Jersey, I'll travel there by vehicle, and be there for support of Ivana. Ivana's like my family, so yeah, I'm gonna be there to support her.
How much influence can you have in this second fight, even or this first fight, this rescheduled fight? How much influence can you have despite not actually being able to train Ivana, or how much of that stuff that you've trained her or ingrained in her is going to be?
I think that me and Ivana have a connection between the two of us that exceeds us being together physically. I think we have a connection that's spiritual. You know, she'll feel me in that ring, and she know I'll be right there with her in that ring. She knows it. She'll feel me, and she'll go out there and then she'll do the job.
The added is this added spice and hype and bad blood, which is probably genuine now for this fight. What sort of fight have we got now? What sort of fight are we looking at, Uncle? And how has it changed from what we would have seen in the first fight to now?
I have advised Ivana not to go out emotional. Go out there as a thinking fighter. Don't get involved in the emotional part of it because that's where Claressa wants to take the fight to an emotional rage. But you have to go out there with some diplomacy and apply yourself therein.
Okay. Okay. So who's working with Claressa now then? Not Claressa. Ivana. Who's working with Ivana now?
Steve Upshur.
Okay. Talk to me about him.
Stevie Upshur. Eddie Chambers' brother.
Okay. Why him?
Stevie and Ivana, they click together. That's a big part of the fight. Emotionally, they click. And for me, that part that they vibe and they click together is a big part of the fight. So yeah, so Stevie is there in Croatia preparing Ivana for the fight, and I think that'll carry her over the finish line.
How has she been doing in camp from what you've been hearing, for you and her have been communicating? How's that been going?
I'm in contact with them every day. Every day that I'm inside of my house, they contact me, Stevie and Ivana, and I feel pretty good about the two of them being together.
Okay. Vlad
I
Tsarenko.
feel pretty good at it.
How's this affecting your relationship with Vlad Tsarenko?
Vlad Tsarenko and I together, we communicate every single day. There's not a day that goes past that Vlad Tsarenko and I don't communicate. Vlad Tsarenko, like I said, when I work with a boxer, it's more than just boxer and trainer. It's more like a family-like atmosphere. Vlad Tsarenko is like a kid. He's like a grandson to me, And he calls me every day to check on me and make sure everything's all right. So everything is good with Vlad Tsarenko and I.
Okay. Okay.
Everything is the way it's supposed to be when people respect and love each other.
In terms of your operational or your day-to-day business, how's that going? When are you? Do you have a forecast of when you'll be back, if you'll ever be back?
Right now, this whole situation is in God's hands.
Okay.
This whole thing is in God's hands. And I won't go nowhere. I won't get in back into boxing or back in the ring until God says yeah. And I'll know it. I'll know in my head.
Okay. Okay. So, the world of boxing. Let's take it back a bit. Alexander Usyk. Let's talk about him. Former fighter you worked with. Took him to the world title. Chaz Witherspoon. Now there's rumours as if Usyk may fight for the WBO title, and it looks like they're going to push Chisora in that fight. Talk to us about the heavyweight edition of Usyk and your views of him now and the Chisora fight.
It's supposed to be Usyk and Chisora?
That's what I think it's going to be.
Usyk and Chisora for the WBO?
That's the plan, I believe.
It's a good fight. It's a good good fight. It's a good, tough fight. It's a good fight at heavyweight for Usyk to come in the heavyweight division in. It's a good fight for Chisora in that Usyk is going to give Chisora a tough fight, and I think that likewise Chisora is going to give Usyk a tough fight.
I have to say, when Usyk made that heavyweight debut against Chaz Witherspoon, I can't say that heavyweight debut was one that made me. I wasn't overly excited by it. I remember when Holyfield fought, I think it was Alisson Rodriguez, and Holyfield was getting hit with punches in the first round, and second round he hit him with an overhand right and laid him out cold. And that was it was amazing watching Holyfield transition to heavyweight. Usyk's transition to heavyweight hasn't been that exciting, hasn't been that dazzling, and I'm slightly concerned. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that we can't really judge Alexander Usyk on that first fight. Chaz got off the couch, to come into that fight. But I mean, I won't cast any judgment on Alexander Usyk in that first fight. I'm still in a wait and see motion, to find out how he looks in the next two fights. But I think that this Chisora fight will tell the story about the real Usyk, because Usyk will come in there for Chisora much sharper than he was for Chaz Witherspoon.
He better be.
Yeah, he has to, because if not, he'll be in over his head. Derek Chisora is a lethal fighter. He's a fighter who thinks that he can beat Usyk. Chisora thinks he can beat Usyk. Chisora has been asking for the fight with Usyk. So when a guy thinks something, it's very difficult to sway his thinking.
Okay. What have you made of Derek Chisora, the last fight he had against David Price? What did you make of that fight?
I like Chisora in the last two fights. In the last two fights, I liked him. He knocked
Spilka.
The Spilka fight and David Price fight. So Chisora is in a good place right now. He's chugging along. Like a choo-choo train building up steam.
Okay. David Price.
David Price will remain just a good fighter, a good test for the guy that's coming into the division, a good test for Vladislav Tsarenko. You get past Chisora, then you have better demands. But still, I mean, David Price, I think that Vlad boxing David Price is a risky fight, but I think that Vlad can handle it. David Price is still a big puncher, and that's what every fighter has to watch out for, David Price, in boxing.
So you'd be quite happy to stick Tsarenko in with Price now?
I think in 2020, yeah, he can get in with David Price.
Okay, so you're looking to step him up in 2020.
What's the other guy from
Cash Ali?
Cash Ali, we can put him with Cash, and the other one.
I'll tell you what, he didn't think much of Dave Allen at all.
David Allen, yeah. Allen, yeah, I'd put him in with.
Tsarenko didn't think much of him at all.
Huh?
Tsarenko didn't think much of Dave Allen at all.
No, and he had a right nut. I mean, but Dave Allen is a good fight for Vlad Tsarenko at this level. I think it's a good fight for him.
I'd like to see
I think David Price is a good fight for him. I think David Price is a good fight for Vlad Tsarenko. I think, in short, Vlad Tsarenko got to make a move in 2020. He's got to make a move to let people know in the division that, hey, I'm here and I'm serious about being here. So yeah, Dave Allen, Price, Cash, those kind of guys in 2020, I would be looking to put Vlad Tsarenko in with those guys.
Okay. Dillian White.
Dillian White is an X factor in the heavyweight division. He's an X factor. He can fight. He will fight. And he's only got one loss, and that's he got to the former champion. He's got one loss. So yeah, Dillian White is in the thick of things.
He fights Marius Wack. Any thoughts on that fight?
think that he cuts through Marius Rock. Based on Marius Rock's last 2-3 fights, I think that he cuts through him.
I think, you know what I think is going to happen? I think we get a great knockout reel. I think White's going to catch him that left hook and lay him out flat. That's what I think. Timber.
Yeah, that left hook and, amongst other things.
That chin of Marius Vac is so big and so long.
Rock is more like in a journeyman role.
Yeah.
And
White.
Irgovic that was fighting Molina.
Yes.
These guys are Hellenius. Those kind of guys are in that journeyman role. They look like they've given up on being the champion. They're just there now to give people a hard time. And if you sleep, they'll sneak up on you and knock you out.
Yep.
Hellenius, Whack, Molina, those guys are into that journeyman-like role now. We're just here to make money, and if we can, we'll sneak up and get a win.
Okay.
But I'm looking to see Vlad Sarenko step up the pace in 2020. I'm looking for him to step up and take these fights. Even though he's at 13-0, I still think he can beat those guys. I think he can come in with that left hook and his drive and his incentive. I think he can beat a lot of these guys.
Okay.
You gotta when you have fighters coming up, you gotta breathe life into them sometimes. You can't just let them be. You gotta introduce things to them and say, listen, you can beat this guy. Take a look at him and see what you think, and then get in there and beat him. The fighters of yesteryear were different kind of animals.
Yes.
As opposed to these guys. Everybody has that take it easy course. But I'm looking at guys like the former 2-time champion Tim Witherspoon. Witherspoon was in there with Larry Holmes in 15 fights. The great Larry Holmes. Tim Witherspoon come into boxing with no amateur background, and he's in there in 15 fights
against
Larry Holmes.
Absolutely.
And gave Larry Holmes a life and death struggle.
Yep. Had nothing to lose, though.
People think that
Had nothing to lose. Witherspoon.
And to this day, people think that Witherspoon might have edged Holmes in that fight. I thought Holmes won the fight. I think Holmes won the fight.
Yep.
And Tim is a good friend of mine. But I thought Holmes won the fight by the skin of his chinny chin. Tim Witherspoon was in that fight all the way.
Yes.
And then if you look at Tim Witherspoon's his next 3 fights after Larry Holmes, they didn't slack up. They put him in with other good fighters. I don't recall which fight he fought after Larry Holmes, but I do know that the next 3 fights were serious fights.
Yep.
He didn't slack up. He kept coming. Right. He kept coming forward. Right. He kept getting better. He kept trying to get better. And that's what the fighters now don't do. They don't step up. They don't believe in themselves. They don't roll the dice. You understand?
Okay.
I like David Allen because David Allen takes chances. I like him.
Here's a guy that's rolling the dice. Michael Hunter. He's rolling the dice against Alexander Povetkin.
Michael Hunter is rolling the dice. Alexander Povetkin is rolling the dice too because Povetkin has been in some tough fights. And he's rolling the dice again by fighting this Michael Hunter fight. It's a very, very risky fight for Alexander Povetkin. It's a very risky fight. Many people think that Hunter is going to win that fight.
I'm looking for Hunter by stoppage, to be honest.
Michael Hunter is a beautiful boxer.
He is.
He's a beautiful boxer, And when you hit somebody and not getting hit, hey, it equals the same thing as being a big puncher.
Mm-hmm.
The fight I'm looking to see Right now, I would like to sit down in my living room and I would like to watch Alexander Usyk versus Michael Hunter. That's the fight I want to see.
At
That's the fight
heavyweight.
I'm literally.
At heavyweight.
Huh?
At heavyweight.
Yeah, at heavyweight, I want to see that fight.
I want to see that fight too.
I want to see that fight because these guys are master boxers. You know, these are, and look, I'm a Povetkin fan, but I'm a Michael Hunter fan. I'm a Usyk fan. You know, so yes, we got some good fight. But I'm the big fan is I'm Vladislav Serenko.
Of course.
That's Vladislav Serenko. That's my guy because I know he has the tools. I know he has the things that he can do. He's got to get out there in 2020.
Absolutely.
He got to step into the heavyweight division in 2020.
Okay. So obviously I've delayed things right to the end for this one. What have you made of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the rematch? What do you thought of Joshua's demeanour, his training, the things he's been saying? What are your thoughts?
You know, I am and have been an Anthony Joshua fan for the longest, but I just don't like looking in his eyes. I just don't like what I see. You know, I just don't like looking in his eyes. You know, he's a good fighter, but I'm just not sure that he's sure of himself in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not
Feeling
convinced
it.
looking in his eyes. I picked Ruiz. I picked Ruiz to beat him. I picked Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua. You know, I'm an Anthony Joshua fan. I have been. I always will be until the end. You know, he has good attributes and stuff, but I'm just not sure that he's sure of himself. He's not convincing me, and maybe it's something that I don't know about him. But I picked Ruiz to win this fight, and I pick him to win it inside of 5 rounds.
I said it inside of 3.
You know, I think that I think he's gonna engage Joshua. He's gonna take away that range, and he's gonna engage him with some big shots. And if Anthony don't answer up right away, he's gonna be in trouble.
I think we're gonna take it from whatever round he was stopped in. That's where the fight's gonna start.
Yeah, I think that Ruiz is prepared and conditioned for battle. You know.
What have you made of the comments that Joshua's been making?
What comment?
We will need to. If he wins this fight, people need to bow before him.
Yeah, you know, fighters get angry too. You know, they have emotions too. You know, and I think that a lot of people like myself are saying that, you know, Ruiz gonna win the fight. You know, I think that gets under his skin a little bit, you know. But I like that. I like that he's saying that. Because that shows me that he's still got fight in him. You know, everybody's gonna have to bow down to him, and you know, he's gonna give him the middle finger and stuff like that. He's angry. And for a boxer, that's a good sign. I think that is
Do you think he's giving? Do you think he's giving Ruiz the credit though that he deserves?
Well, you know, you're in a big fight, and he's giving Ruiz. I think he'll give Ruiz credit after the fight's over. But going into the fight, he's not giving up nothing. He said, if you want something, you're going to have to take. I'm Anthony Joshua. And I like that about him. I like that, you know.
What have you made of his weight loss?
I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't either.
I don't think it's a good idea. I think that bulk that he had, he needs that versus Ruiz. He needs that bulk. He needed that same weight that he had. All of that, you know, getting there, trying to be fast, trying to stick and bounce around the ring and run around. Don't do that because Ruiz is going to walk you down. Ruiz is going to walk him down. And when Ruiz walk him down and find him, Anthony's got to have some power on them punches to get Ruiz up off him. And I think that slimming down, I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I think that's, for me, I think that's a sign of weakness, slimming down. It means you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in what you've got.
No, I just think that was a bad idea. think that was a bad idea, slimming down. I don't think that was a good idea at all. I think that he's going to need that bulk when them punches start coming his way. Ruiz is a good puncher.
What do you think of Abel? What have you made of Angel Fernandez? How much do you know about Abel Fernandez?
Who?
Angel Fernandez.
Who's Angel Fernandez?
That's who Joshua's brought in to work with him.
Who is he? Who is Angel Fernandez?
I don't know. You tell me. Does anybody in chat know who Angel Fernandez is, please? I don't know.
I don't know Angel Fernandez.
Nor do I. Oh, well, I don't really know him.
What is he, as Aladdin's magic lamp or something?
What? 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 Aladdin's magic.
I mean,
Punch from the dogs. Now this. What next?
Look, I'm just proud that Anthony's getting paid for the fight.
What?
He's getting paid for the fight. Andrew Fernandez, I don't know who he is. I mean, I don't think that he has.
Well, there was some talk as well that Harold the Shadow Knight was in Joshua's camp as well.
Yeah, and
Bright Jennings helped him spar. Derek Chisora helped him spar. Andrew Petey helped him spar. And a few others. Yeah, here comes EJ Boxing Live says, nobody asked. People asked, who is Angel Fernandez? EJ Boxing Live says, AJ's second trainer. We know that, bro. But we're asking, who is he? Who is Angel Fernandez? In regards to who he's trained, his legacy, where he's come from, how many heavyweights he's trained, what's his heavyweight resume? That's what we want to know. That's what Uncle Bashir is asking. He's not asking who is second, that he's in relevance to being a second trainer, bro. Does anybody in the room actually know who let me find out I'll find out who Angel Fernandez is. I'll find out for you who he is, Uncle. Then maybe we can Angel Fernandez. Boxing trainer. I'll find that now. I know he's trained.
Listen. Bottom line is that they can bring Charles McGillicuddy in. When that bell rings, it's just going to be AJ and Andy Ruiz in that ring. All right? It's going to be AJ and Andy Ruiz in that ring. And one has to come up.
Yeah, he worked with
remedy to beat the other. He worked with what?
He worked with there you go. I think he worked with Isaac Chamberlain.
Huh?
I think he worked with Isaac Chamberlain. It's one of the fighters.
Isaac Chamberlain?
Yeah, he worked with Isaac Chamberlain.
Who's Isaac Chamberlain?
Like cruiserweight, isn't he? I think he's cruiserweight in front end.
Okay, all right. Enough. Okay, all right.
Goes. Angel is a top trainer because he's with AJ, bro.
Okay, Angel's a top trainer because he's with AJ. Angel is a top trainer because he's with AJ. Is that what you just said?
That's what AJ. I'm not getting involved. Let's move the subject on. I didn't know that a trainer becomes better because he works with a fighter. I thought a trainer came because of what he produces, not because he sidelines with AJ. Well, like I said, I predicted and I saw Ruiz. I even told people how Ruiz would knock AJ out, the actual punch and how the sequence and how it would happen. So yeah. So anyway, it don't matter who Angel Fernandez is. Angel Fernandez can't fight for Anthony Joshua. That's for sure. And the things that I'm seeing when I look at Joshua's eyes and I look at his body language, it just doesn't look great. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I don't see. I see he's doing a lot of talking, but I was talking to people about this before, and the illusions are people can be really. People got a short memory. AJ started his career slim, and if people go back and look at AJ when he fought his first fight against Emmanuel Leo, and then he fought against a guy called Matt Legg. Matt Legg was the first guy who actually went and rushed AJ. And in that fight, he was for the first minute, he was getting clipped with the left hook. AJ has since the amateur days.
I saw different things in AJ's technique.
Yeah, from the amateur days, Uncle. Yes,
I saw things in AJ's technique in his training camp that I just don't think changed. I don't think some things changed in his technique. I don't think so. I didn't see anything different. I see the same old thing, and the same old thing will get the same old result.
You know what I see worse now? Right. He's attaching the right hand, cocking it to his head. So he's stuck there. They're teaching to stick the right hand to his head. The only problem with that is you leave your body open.
I just think that Ruiz could smash him out of there.
That's what rounds. I think. Something's subconscious in boxing. We can talk all the talk, but some things are subconscious. Some guys, when you rush them and you put pressure on them, they don't like it. AJ's the type of guy that when you put pressure on him and you get mid to close range, he doesn't know what to do. He panics. Doesn't know what to do. You look at all the fights AJ's had when somebody actually draws him into a fight. He don't look that great. The Klitschko fight, Klitschko took it to him. Klitschko dropped him. And if Klitschko had followed the instructions, he would have got him out of there. Dillian Whyte took the fight to AJ. Almost stopped AJ. And you've got Andy Ruiz, who's short, who's got faster hands, and isn't scared of AJ. He's not scared of the height and the size. He don't care about that. And Andy Ruiz has been boxing since 8 years old. He's got 10 years on AJ. He's the experienced guy going into the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, AJ's got some problems.
Yeah, he's got some problems.
And Andy Ruiz, he got some, like I said, I just visually looking at things, I just don't like people say, well, how can you tell by looking in the eyes? I just don't like the way what I see in AJ's eyes.
Yeah,
it just looks like he's confused, like he doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be there. You could tell he doesn't want to be there. The things he's saying. I mean, I looked at the gloves are off. I remember the gloves are off when Dillian Whyte sat down against Joseph Parker, and I looked at the body language. I said, you know what? Dillian Whyte's going to rough up Parker, and he's going to drop Parker with a left hook. Now, people sat in this room when I was saying that stuff, and they went, it's not going to happen. Parker ends up going down twice on his ass because of Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte bullies him out there.
Well, you can't get positive results if you got the same old thing. Even Joseph Parker, he needs a
new trainer.
He find himself another trainer.
Exactly.
Find another trainer.
What I do not get is that,
and I'm not, and that's not to say that the trainer that he has is a bad trainer.
He's met his ceiling though.
It's to say that the chemistry is not going nowhere.
It's not even a chemistry. Uncle, it's not
the knowledge of a trainer. It's not so much the knowledge of a trainer.
It's the ceiling though.
Chemistry. It's the chemistry.
It's not even that.
Like a marriage. It's got to be like a marriage, bro.
Yeah, but it's not.
Two people ain't gonna stay together. Two people are not gonna stay together if they're not making progress.
Oh yes, they are. If it's business and there's contracts in place, they'll do so. I think with Parker, to me, They've hit a ceiling. I don't think his trainer can teach him anymore. So they're doing the same things over and over again. So I think his skill set is actually going backwards, not forwards.
Where's Parker at now?
He's meant to fight. Well, he was meant to fight Chisora, but now he's saying he's crying for a fight. He can't get a fight at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, you see what Joseph Parker is. He was the WBA champion, right?
Yes.
Where's he at now? Nobody heard anything from Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker needs to get himself another situation, another trainer.
That's what happens when you sign Matchroom.
The trainer he's with, they're not making no strides. They're not making music together. They're not making good music together.
That's what happens when you, that's what happens. That's what happens when you sign Matchroom. You look at Luis Ortiz. Same thing happened with him. Same thing happens with him.
But Luis Ortiz was in the fight with Wilder until that mumbo jumbo landed on him. When that mumbo jumbo landed, he was up. He was up. He got up. He said, "Yeah, I'm up. I was up at the count of 15. I was ready." No. He said, "You got to be up at the count of 10." He said, "Man, I was good." He said, "I was good. I was clear. I was clear-headed. I was ready to go at 15." He said, "No, you have to be up at the count of 10, Luis. You can't be up there at no 15." Wilder has the right hand, and he's got some magic in that right hand.
But Uncle, he's not just got a right hand, he's got boxing ability. The man just took his time, waiting, just waited. And when the one opportunity got, boom, that was it. Good night. One punch. And throughout listen, Uncle, through the whole of the fight, I was commentating, I was saying to people, all right, Luis Ortiz landing all these punches. I said, just wait. Let's see what happens when Wilder touches Ortiz for the first time. And you know what? The same people that sit in this room that say Ortiz has lost weight, Ortiz is in best shape. I said, all right, this isn't Weight Watchers. This is a boxing match against the most devastating puncher in world boxing. He's lost weight. I said, all right, let's see what happens with that right hand hits him on the chin. Let's see what happens when he loses his weight on that chin. Boom, good night. Same thing happen with AJ, I think. If AJ's...
Hey, bro, I gotta go. I gotta get out.
Yeah, I know.
I like to talk to you because I got a whole bunch of stuff to say about boxing.
Of course. As always, we can do. Let's do part 2 tomorrow then, if we can.
Okay. Yeah. I'll call you. Let you know.
All right. Sounds good. Uncle Bashir, right. Do you have a message to anybody else before we end this part here?
Just pray for me. That's all. Just pray that I get through this thing, that I come back. I want to be in boxing. I want to continue boxing. Just pray for me. I still got some things that I'm going through physically, some physical
challenges,
setbacks that I have there.
Yeah.
I just got to try to get through it. I just got to try to be better. And please pray for me. That's all.
Uncle, I'm really thank you so much for taking the time to talk to BWTM Sports and giving us the first interview. We really do appreciate it. I know there are many people who would have approached you for this, and we thank you that you thought and considered us first.
Yes. Yes, this is the first and the only one that I've done. I just don't want to right now. I just want to get the problems that I have, the physical problems that I have. I want to put that behind me, and then I'll be in a better place to communicate.
Okay. Uncle Bashir, thank you so much. Much love.
You're welcome.
Take care. So there you have it. First interview from Uncle James Ali Bashir, back on the channel. It's great to have him back on the show. And after this, we'll be back again, I think, shortly. Yeah, we'll be back shortly. I think we'll be having I think we might have the ABC of boxing on. Yeah, we might have the ABC of boxing on. So bear with us. If anybody doesn't know who the ABC is, it's the anti-BS commissioner. He'll be back on tonight, so we'll have some. He's got a few things to say. I understand that I owe him some drinks after me putting him through having to watch the press conference of Joshua Ruiz, and the gloves are off. He's not best pleased with me, but we'll see what he has to say. Join us back soon. I hope you enjoyed the interview. You've been watching BWTM Sports. Don't forget to rate, subscribe as always, and leave your comments. Thank you for watching.